Well, Australia's leadership standoff is causing ripples throughout the business and economic sector at home and, of course, overseas, with both parties wooing the independents in an attempt to form a minority government. What's needed is a little more balance.
Now, some analysts are optimistic about changes to come, while others wrestle with all the uncertainty. Money expert Anthony Bell joins us now to talk us through how the political gridlock is affecting our pockets. Hi, Anthony. Uncertainty makes investors nervous, right? How's this hung parliament idea affecting the stock market?
It's like every election has an effect on it. People want to know who's going to get in, and then they, sometimes the market builds in or not. This is a particularly different one because we've gone for a very long period, like the longest in 50 years, where it's undeterminable. And Labor and Liberals' policies on some things like mining taxes and some things like aged care are so different that right now there's a bit of uncertainty in the economy. So it's having a bit of effect. The market's slightly down on where it was last week. Some mining stocks have actually dropped a little bit as they're starting to price in possibly one party's return into power.
All right. How can the average person minimise the impact all this is happening on the...
Okay, so generally the average person shouldn't be too rash to go after any major investments right now or make any wild choices or calls. And they should also look at investing in term deposits. They're the safest thing. The banks are still giving good money at plus 6%. And look, the oldie but a goodie, still use every cent of spare cash to pay off some debt if you've got it there as well.
Okay, that's good advice. Lots of interest around mining stocks. Do we buy? Do we not?
Well, it's an interesting one right now because obviously with the whole mining tax issue and the Labor government's forefront there was a lot of uncertainty all the way through the election. The Liberals are probably suggesting that if they got in that there'd be an improvement in mining stocks because naturally the Labor government was promulgating an increase in costs and tax on mining companies to fund other things, which meant that would inevitably bring mining costs down. So right now, while no one knows who's going to get in, there's a little bit of uncertainty in there, but I think the market's starting to price in that possibly the Labor government may be returned, and there's been a drop-off on like Rio and BHP in the last 24 hours.
Okay, that's how they're reading it. Okay.
So we keep hearing that we mightn't have an outcome until next week. How's this affecting businesses who are trying to trade overseas? It must be painful times.
Look, it's okay. I mean, the big thing on that is really the dollar, and it has fluctuated so much over the last month or so. The Aussie, is today around late 80s, but a couple of weeks ago it was like 92.5 cents. So to those businesses, there's a bit of uncertainty there, and that's a real risk where you put something in for the future that you don't actually know is going to happen in the next couple of weeks. So, look, I think it's business as usual for the small guys, but the big guys have certainly got their analysts out, and they've got their economists, and they're trying to predict the future.
Oh, yeah. OK, well, we'll get you back next week to see what's happening then, see if we have an outcome by then.
Hopefully.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks, mate. See you soon.